Most people think they need to follow a single diet plan that tells you exactly what to eat and when to eat. But those don't work, so here's how you can create a diet plan that fits your lifestyle. So in this video, I'm gonna show you a system that I've used to create a fat loss plan that has helped me lose 70 pounds and keep it off for 7 years. We are gonna look at how much to eat, when to eat, meal planning, and how to measure your progress to shed pounds consistently. By the end of this video, you're gonna learn exactly where to focus your time to get the best results. To start, you need to understand why most people follow plans that don't work and fail as a result. The best way to think about this is like a toolbox. If you were only given one hammer, what are you gonna do when you need to screw something into the wall? You need to measure it out to see if it's level or not. You need to measure it to see how long it should be. Whereas an entire toolbox fully equips you to any scenario that you may run into. So how does this relate to fat loss? Several coaches will give you a diet plan that doesn't really fully align with your life, or you follow a day in the life video of somebody and try to copy it exactly to a T, and then now here you are telling you that you need to be eating breakfast at 7:05 when that's when you're heading to work and you don't have time to sit down and make that whole meal. If you just follow a cookie cutter plan, there will be times where this hammer does not always work. You need all the tools to create a plan that's gonna fit your lifestyle because you are going to run into several struggles and scenarios. So this is how you're gonna create a diet plan that sheds pounds consistently, and it all starts with step one. Step one, find your maintenance. Everyone needs different amounts of foods, and there's a simple way to figure this out. But first, you need to understand why. Most people think it's age, but science has shown us that over time, as you age, your metabolism barely decreases. So what is it? How many calories you burn is based off of how much you weigh and how tall that you are. So the taller that you are and the more you weigh, the more calories that you are gonna burn, versus the shorter that you are and the less you weigh, the less calories that you are going to burn, because your body has to burn less calories to keep you alive if you are shorter and weigh less. Think about it like this. If you were to throw on a weight vest and go for a walk, and maybe it's an added 20 or 30 pounds, you're gonna burn a few more calories because it takes more effort to move those 30 pounds. Your weight works the same way. If you weigh more, it takes more effort for your body to move that weight. We call these calories that your body burns on a daily basis your maintenance calories. This is the amount of calories that your body burns to keep you alive. So this consists of your body just running the daily functions throughout the day, digesting food, and the exercise that you are having throughout your day. And here's a simple way to find out your maintenance. What I want you to do after watching this video is you're gonna go to TDEE Calculator. And on that website, what you're gonna do is you're gonna type in all your information. You're gonna type in your weight, age, height, and it is gonna come up with a maintenance calories. From that calorie range, what I want you to do is minus 500. Now, if your maintenance is already pretty low, let's say about like 1,700 or 1,800 calories, minusing 500 is gonna put you in a very low amount. But let's just use 2,200 as an example. Let's say your maintenance is 2,200 calories. You're gonna minus 500 from that, and that is gonna give you 1,700 calories every single day to be eating to be in a calorie deficit. So what this means is if you were to eat 1,700 calories when your maintenance was 2,200 calories, you are eating less than you are burning on a daily basis. So think about it like money. If you were to save up for a vacation, what you would start doing is, let's say that vacation is gonna cost you $3,000, and you start putting in maybe $500 every single month, you are putting away that money over time. Your calorie deficit works the exact same way. If you are eating less, let's say 500 calories less every single day, where does your body now have to take that energy from? It goes to your fat that you have on your body. So it will take fat off of your body and use it as energy because you are in a deficit. So then over time, you will start losing fat off your body because you keep taking fat as energy because you're in that deficit. And if you consistently were in a 500 calorie deficit every single day, that would equate to about 1 pound of weight loss every single week, which is great progress. I hear so many people talk about, I'm only losing 1 pound of weight loss a week. A half a pound to 2 pounds of weight loss a week is phenomenal progress, and it means you're on the right track. Now that you know how many calories you should be eating, it's time to start tracking, which leads us into step 2, track everything that you eat. So this is what I want you to do. Go onto Amazon and find the cheapest weighing scale. And what you're gonna start doing now is you're going to use this scale and start tracking every single thing that you eat. So for example, what you're gonna start doing is you put your bowl on the scale, and then you're gonna zero that scale out. You're gonna make sure it's in grams because it's gonna be tracking that in weight then. And what you're gonna start doing now is, let's say you put yogurt into that bowl, it is now gonna give you a number in grams at how much yogurt that you put in it. You're gonna scan the barcode on your yogurt container. Use, I think the app's gonna be called Macros First. This is gonna be an app that allows you to have a free barcode scanner. MyFitnessPal is another good one, but I think it is paid to have a barcode scanner. I use my Fitbit because I have a Fitbit watch and they allow me to have a barcode scanner because I pay for the watch. Now I use the app. And then from there, you're scanning that barcode and then you are gonna put in, let's just say you did 150 grams of yogurt. You're gonna put that into the app and then it will automatically put all the macros in there and the calories in there for you. And then now you are going to repeat this process for every single thing that you eat. If there doesn't have a barcode on something, let's say like an apple, you're just gonna type in the apple and you can actually put the weight in of that apple and then it's gonna put the calories in your app. And then you're gonna repeat this process over and over and over again for every single thing that you put into your mouth. And that is how you're gonna know how many calories that you're eating. And going back to the example in step 1, you're gonna now make sure that you are getting close to around 1,700 calories. Now you can make a little range for yourself, like let's say 1,700 to 1,900 calories, but try to do something along those lines and hit close to that goal. This works so much better than some cookie cutter plan where everybody's telling you exactly what to eat, because you know your calorie amount that you should be having. And now the only thing that you need to start doing now is try to fit different foods and into your diet within that calorie range. So you're gonna start figuring out what foods are higher in calories, which ones are lower, and which ones you like. And then over time, you will continue to adapt. But this is how you can create a diet that fits your lifestyle, because you are going to find foods that you like and that work for you, because maybe you're in a rush in the morning and you need to have something already pre-made the night before, or something that doesn't take much time, or maybe you already have dinners that you like. Now you can start figuring out maybe how to make them lower calories. It's a lot like learning a subject in school. When you're just given the dang plan and you have to memorize it like a cookie cutter plan, you don't actually learn the actual plan. Now, if you're given a framework that you have to work within, like a calorie deficit range, you start learning foods that are actually gonna work for your lifestyle. And this becomes more than just, oh, I'm just gonna lose a quick few pounds, and it becomes something that you can hold off forever. If you wanna learn more about a calorie deficit, I have a whole free mini course that you can just click the link in the description below. Now that you know how to track calories, later in the video, we're gonna talk about how you can plan this throughout the day that fits the best for you. Tracking calories is one of the most important things for losing fat, but it falls apart if you don't do step 3, which is start tracking your protein. Most people screw this up because they think more protein, I need to start eating more protein bars and drinking a bunch more smoothies. This literally used to be me. I was a single dude living in college where all I needed to really do was like, I'm just gonna hit a high protein number, so I'm gonna eat a ton of protein bars, eat a ton of things where I can put scoop protein in them. Like I would literally take a bowl of oatmeal, scoop protein powder in it just to make it higher protein, and then I would make a bunch of smoothies. But in the long term, this didn't work. I now have a fiance. I now sit down and we have meals together at nighttime. I'm not gonna be the person who pulls out my white rice, chicken, and broccoli and has some sort of very, very strict plan. I'm gonna sit down and we're gonna have different meals every single night that we enjoy, instead of following this extremely strict plan, but we actually have some leeway and some flexibility to it. I had to start figuring out how to include protein in my diet beyond just using protein bars, protein powder, or doing high protein smoothies. And I can promise you, your diet will fall apart if you don't start making protein a priority. So how much should you be getting? What I want you to do is take your goal body weight times 0.8. So for example, let's say you weigh 180 pounds and your goal body weight is 150 pounds. You're gonna take 150 pounds times 0.8, and that is gonna give you 120 grams of protein every single day. Now, what if this number is way too high? Like, what if you're already only getting like 50 grams of protein right now? What I want you to start doing is hit a goal that is realistic for you. So try to do 10 to 20 grams higher every single week, and maybe once you hit that consistently, you bump it up another 10 to 20 the next week, and then another, until you can consistently hit that number. You literally just did all the heavy work in step 2. If you are tracking your calories in that app, it is actually going to already be tracking the protein for you, because it's going to be showing you your macros. So when you scan that barcode, put it into the app, it's going to put in the calories, the protein, the carbs, the fats, and it's going to tell you and add up all of it for the end of the day, and it's going to tell you had 78 grams of protein at the end of the day. Now you just have to be more deliberate about the foods that you are choosing. If you hit this goal consistently, I can promise you, you're going to have decreased cravings, decreased hunger, and decreased overeating. And what happens when all 3 of those things happen? you end up making it so much easier to lose fat. Tracking protein is extremely crucial for keeping you on point with your diet. But how do you take this whole calorie goal and make it into a meal plan throughout the day that works for you? So let's dive into it. Step 4, meal plan. By the end of step 4, you're gonna know exactly a method that you can start implementing a diet plan that fits your lifestyle. You're gonna know how many meals that you should be eating, how much food and how much protein at each meal, and you're gonna start knowing when you should be eating. Most people fail at this because they eat practically nothing for breakfast, a small lunch, and then a very big dinner. So at breakfast, you're having maybe a protein bar and some coffee, and then you're having a small salad at lunchtime, and then at dinner, you just have a massive dinner. And here's why this doesn't work. Since you barely have anything throughout the day, you're sitting here trying to save calories. So much so that by the time that dinner rolls around, this starts leading to you having increased cravings, you feel starving later on, and you have a lack of control and start eating out of emotion. So try this 3-2 method. You're gonna have 3 plates and 2 snacks. So what I want you to do is you're gonna take your calorie number. Let's go back to that 1700 number, and you're gonna divide this by 4. So a fourth of it's gonna be for breakfast, a fourth of it's gonna be for lunch, fourth for dinner, and then that last fourth, you're gonna cut it in half and you're gonna split it over 2 snacks. And then now we're gonna do the same exact thing for protein. We'll use 120, a fourth for breakfast, a fourth for lunch, and then a fourth for dinner. And then once again, you're gonna take that last fourth and you're gonna cut it in half, and that's gonna be for both of your snacks. Now, obviously there's a little wiggle room for this, but this is a framework that you're gonna try to hit. And here's why this works. It keeps you full longer throughout the day. Planned snacks decrease the chance of you going for that Ben & Jerry's or Oreos. And it makes it so much easier to hit your protein goal because science has shown us that high protein diets are one of the most effective diets for losing fat because your body takes much longer to digest protein, which, like I talked about earlier, is going to decrease cravings, hunger, and the likelihood of you going for that snack. So when should you eat? People talk about all the time, you need to be eating within these time frames or at these exact times, when in reality is, you need to make sure it's the best time that fits your lifestyle because you have to figure out how it fits into your life. So for you, that may be pre-planning a breakfast the night before, and maybe you do have to eat it on the way to work. So maybe it's something that is easily being able to be eaten. Or maybe you get up later or you have late nights and you maybe have to eat a later dinner. But you have to figure out what works best for you and just plans the best into your life. This might take a little bit of trial and error. Now, you have all the tools to build a successful diet plan, but ignoring step 5 leads to people quitting fat loss, and it's the easiest step. Step 5, measure progress. Most people weigh themselves either once a week or just every so often when they feel like it. You get frustrated and think you aren't making any progress, or you sit there and say, I'm only losing 1 pound of weight loss a week. So this is exactly what you are going to do and what you can expect. Stop using the scale as the only form of progress and start using these 4 things. Number 1, use the scale. Once again, shouldn't be the only form of progress, but use the scale daily. What this is going to do, it's going to give you multiple data points. So instead of doing once a week where you get 4 data points over an entire month, you are now going to be getting 28 or 30 data points over an entire month, because there's going to be several times that maybe you step on a scale one Monday and the scale maybe was on a down spike, and then on another Monday actually it was on an up spike, but you don't know that because you haven't seen all the other numbers throughout the week in the coming weeks because you aren't paying attention to multiple data points, and this will also give you a more accurate trend line as well. Number 2, take body measurements every 2 weeks. So you can take measurements of your arm, you can take measurements of your waist, your thighs, your glutes. What this is gonna start doing is, especially if you are somebody who is strength training, there are gonna be times that you are losing fat, but the scale may not change because you are also gaining muscle. You are getting a better body composition. You are looking more toned. You are looking more defined. So the body measurements are going to show this. They're gonna show inches coming off your body, but sometimes it may not equate to what a scale is gonna show you. Number 3, take progress pictures every single month. Once again, just like the measurements and the scale, sometimes you're just not always gonna see things. You're gonna start noticing maybe a picture every month, you're like, oh, I'm actually losing fat around my jaw, around my neck. I am losing fat around a little area on my stomach that I didn't realize before. I'm losing fat around my glutes I didn't realize before. This is going to show you things that the other 2 can't always necessarily show you. Number 4, track your weights and reps in your workouts. Most people just aimlessly do the same workout every single time and don't track anything. You're gonna start noticing progress, not only from appearance when you start tracking, because you're actually making progressive overload. You're actually getting a lot better in the gym every single time, which is challenging your muscles. Like I said, giving you that defined, toned, athletic look. But you can also get motivation from just beyond the scale. You're getting motivation just from beyond appearance. You're actually able to see, oh, I went up 20 pounds over this month on some sort, on like a bench press or on a squat, or I got my first push-up, first pull-up, I got a 100-pound deadlift, whatever it is. There's other ways to track progress than beyond just appearance. It's simple. Why would you do so much of the hard work from 1 through 4 and not round this off and do step 5, where you actually watch the progress and stop being scared that maybe you're not making some, but pay attention to your progress and maybe needing to make adjustments along the way, because most people don't track progress and then they think they're not making progress, and you're gonna sit here and be like, oh, I'll just know if I am. You won't, I promise you. It is very helpful to see things consistently over time, because there's going to be days that you're just not in the mood and you need to take a step back and look at your progress you've made over the last month. Is gonna be so helpful. Stop mindlessly following a cookie cutter plan and guessing every single day of what you should be eating randomly. Follow this framework and build a plan that fits into your lifestyle and gets the results that you want, instead of just watching somebody else get results. Building a diet plan will get you results, but most people fail at stage 2. So if you want to prevent that, then I'd recommend you watch this video here.